Hey, welcome to my channel, my stream. I am back with another recap of Love is Blind, episode 10. Okay, we have one more episode to watch before the weddings, which is episode 12 that comes out March 4th. Today is March 2nd. So we're gonna get right into it. Just give me a little second really quick as I log onto my computer. If I look a little tired, if I sound a little tired, it's because I am, okay? Give me 1 second. I did not feel like putting on my contacts, so I'm really doing this video blindly, okay? Love is blind. This stream is blind, okay? Hopefully you can hear me. I just want to double check my camera view to see that, you know, I'm being heard, being seen correctly, whatever. All right, so whatever, I don't care. Is my camera screen, is it clean? Like, hold up, I think I need to clean my camera screen. I'm trying to do this without making anything fall. All right, hold up. Ciao. I don't even know. Oh, it was dirty. What in the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like, when I stream, I realize how not identical my eyebrows are, and it makes me like, I don't know, when you look at yourself, you feel like you look one way, but then when you see yourself on camera, you look a different way. It's cool. I mean, I'm still that girl, you know. All right, so let's just get right into it. Episode 10. This is, oh yeah, another thing too, watch my videos in 1.25 speed. It's so much more satisfying, trust me, okay? So episode 10, it says vanishing mode. All right, vanishing mode. All right, I took a lot of notes. Like, this is my notes for this whole episode. Like, I feel like that's a lot, okay? So I forget where we left off on episode 9. Oh yeah, I remember. Episode 9 left off with Chris and Bree talking at the bar. And I was saying how Bree was kind of just like eating it up. I felt like it was feeding her ego, you know. My perspective changed just a little bit after watching this episode, but not really. She's still a liar, okay? So episode 10 begins with Bree and Chris at the bar, and she asks him, you know, why didn't you mention all of this in Cabo? Chris is telling her like how he feels about her, and he's just saying like, you know, I would have picked you, you were the one, and you know, I'm feeling you, and you're so beautiful, whatever. He's just like, you know, laying it on her thick, right? She's like, why didn't you mention all this when you were in Cabo? And I said that the last episode. I said, exactly. Why didn't he mention that in Cabo? Because he done literally led Jessica on. Now he all up in your face. Yuck. Okay? And then he throws Connor under the bus. He tells Bree, the only reason Connor picked you is, no, the only reason Connor picked Emma is because I told him I was gonna pick you. You were his other option. And because I told him that I was gonna pick you, he said, okay, I'm gonna pick Emma. Do we believe this? Do we believe this is how this went? Isn't Chris, sorry, I keep getting these two mixed up, but isn't Chris the one that I told y'all in episodes 1 through 6? I told y'all how he was kind of like trying to intimidate another one of the other guys in the quarters, like, oh yeah, wait, was that him? No, it wasn't. Never mind. I'm thinking about Steve. Never mind. Never mind. Scratch that I said that. All right. Anyway, but do we believe this is what really happened? Like, I was waiting for Netflix to run the clip back, like to show when he had a conversation with Connor. When did he say that? When did this happen? Like, we would have seen that. Or is it going to come out in the reunion that he really did talk to him? He really did tell him that, you know? But he kind of like made it seem like he kind of tried to make Bree feel like a second option, or, you know, the last resort, or like, you know, you weren't actually Connor's first pick. I'm like, ugh, like he only doing that because he really likes her. So he's taking shots at Connor. Anything he can do to get Bree up off Connor, okay? And also I was just like, at this point with him saying that, this is all a game to Chris. This whole experiment is just all a game, okay? Him saying, oh, you know, I was gonna pick you, I should have picked you, and I was gonna pick you, and oh, yep, I should have never told him that. If I would have never told him that, then, you know, he would have never picked her, and I would have picked you. And I'm like, okay, whatever. He goes on and talks about how Bree is friends with loser dudes. Who exactly are these loser dudes? Are you talking about yourself? Because you're the only loser dude I see. Yeah. And he says, you know, why do you want to pick Connor? Like, why wouldn't you pick me? You know, I'm thinking about, don't you want a clear path? And, you know, someone who's thinking about a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan. You know, I'm directional driven. Where the fuck did you get that off? ChatGPT? Are you serious? Directionally driven? Because if you were directionally driven, you would have stayed with Jessica, who was very much directionally driven when she got her degree and went off to school, went to work and became a doctor, okay? She had a 5-year plan. She actually excelled and exceeded her 5-year plan. But you seen her and you did not see no type of future with her because of her body. So you sitting here up saying, oh, you know, I have a 5-year plan. Don't you want somebody like me and this and that? I'm like, Chris, cut it out. Cut it out. Because you had a girl that was on that type of level. She's past that point. And she could have helped you, could have even motivated you to get on that type of time with her. But, you know, it's neither here or there. You want Bree. You want Bree, right? So, okay. So as he's saying all this, Bree is just, you know, just looking at him, not really saying much. And again, I don't know if it's the way they edited the video or edited the scene or not, but she didn't really say anything. Chris is just yapping his gums, okay, at this point. And then he also says, you know, I would have picked you and all this stuff. And, you know, you only live about 15 minutes from you. You only live around the way. Or something he said like that. I'm like, how do he know where she lives? Is this not like a safety concern? And then there's my thing too. He also know where Jessica lives now. So he knows where Bree live and Jessica. How many other people? So when Netflix, I don't know if this is a Netflix issue or not, but like, once they leave Cabo and they go to each other's houses and stuff like that, I feel like the couple should know where each other live, right? But other couples should not know where other couples live or other individuals live. Like, I just don't feel like that's necessary. I don't feel like that's something that needs to be disclosed unless another person is literally asking them or giving that information forefront. So when he mentioned her address, I kind of was like, how the hell does he know where she live at? He been over there before? They talked about that? Like, she said, this is where I live? Like, what? Where did that come from? Okay. So he continues, he goes on. And she was saying like how he asked her something like, hold on, let me just make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. Yeah, he asked her something like, you know, are you attracted to me? Do you like me? Like, you know, like, be honest. And she points at her ring like, I'm in a relationship. I'm with Connor. And he's like, yeah, I know. Like, so exactly. So what do you know? Because that means she not feeling you. That means she with somebody else. Like, so you just answered your own question. Okay. So, but we all know that's not the truth. We all know Bree really does want him. Let's be real. All right. So he goes on. I gotta see it. Oh, that wasn't a sneeze. It was a yawn. Okay. So he goes on and he tries to bribe her with 4 seasons. Are you fucking kidding me right now? He's like, I would have took you to 4 seasons. Like, we would have had a good time. It would have been guaranteed a good time. And she's like, yeah, you know, room service. He's like, yes. I'm like, I cannot stand this individual. Like, I cannot stand him. And he's like, yeah, when I think of us, we would be fuck buddies. And I'm like, he done said all of this stuff, gassing her up, just to say, the way I see us, we would have been fuck buddies. Chris, is that really how you want to lead? Okay, is that really how you want to lead? And that's when her energy changed. Okay, she was like, now you see that this man is trifling as fuck. Okay, now you see he ain't about shit. Okay, I don't know if you needed to see this moment or hear him say that to realize that, or were you in denial, or were you trying to just like look over it or look past it? But once he said that, I was like, Chris, bye. Literally, bye. What was she supposed to do when you said that? Like, oh my God, yeah, we were gonna be fuck buddies, yeah. Like, what was she supposed to say? Like, oh my God, I thought the same thing. Like, what? And then he goes on and talks about how, you know, he seen her Instagram, and when he seen her Instagram, he was like, yes, like that's the one. And it began to get a little awkward after that. After that comment, it got a little awkward. And it shows that he does not respect her relationship. And he calls Connor Mr. Brightside. And I'm just like, okay, so if Connor is Mr. Brightside, then what the hell are you? Mr. Darkside? Like, what exactly does that analogy mean? Mr. Brightside. Like, what, the good thing to do, the positive thing to do, the easy way? Like, what does that mean? I wish he could have elaborated on that, but he didn't. And it's like, this was her best pick. Out of you and Connor was her best pick, because you clearly are an asshole. You're full of yourself. You ain't shit. You think you're better than everybody. Like, I can't do him, okay? And then he makes a weird joke. He laughs it off. Priyanka walks up. He's laughing it off. He was like, am I the Andrew Tate to everybody? Bree's like, what? I don't even know who that is. But a lot of people may not know who Andrew Tate is, but I feel like Bree does know who it is. But maybe for the camera, for the scene, she said that just so she's not mixed up in controversy, you know? And when he said that, I'm like, who the hell would compare themselves to Andrew Tate? You know, the one who has, like, how can I say it? He's very controversial. The way he speaks about women, the way he talks about women, talks to women, it can be very disrespectful. He demeans them. He sees women as property. Doesn't he have human trafficking allegations? Yeah, he's always promoting like the alpha male, but he does it in such a distasteful way, you know? I don't know much about the guy, but those are the top things that we know of Andrew Tate, and you're comparing yourself to him. Okay. So once he says that, he repeats himself, and Bree is like, I don't even know who that is. He's like, whatever. So she brushes him off. Priyanka and her leave. You know, I don't even know why Priyanka walked up. Priyanka, I feel like Priyanka came to shake the table. Honestly, she came to shake some shit up. Okay. So we're gonna get back to Priyanka, but next scene we move over to Kia and Kevin, or Kavan, whatever. And I say he's gagged. He seen Kia and was gagged. Like, oh, Kia, it's you in the flesh. Like, yeah, T. Yeah, you see her T. Like, you could never, boo. Don't ever think that you was ever juggling two women, like a Tyler and a Kia. Don't ever think that is like, no, it didn't give. It didn't give. But I'm sitting there like, where is Tyler? So y'all brought Kia, y'all brought Priyanka. She wasn't even in any type of like, she wasn't in no, we didn't see that she wasn't in no love triangle. She wasn't matched up with anybody at all. That whole love triangle was between Tyler, Kia, and Kevin. And they didn't bring Tyler to the meetup. Like, I'm confused about that. I don't know why. But I did see an interview. I watched the interview. I'm going to talk about that later. But I did see the interview of Kia and Tyler. And Tyler basically said she never got the invite. They never invited her to be there. And I thought that was kind of weird. Like, she was a whole moment on that on those first episodes. She was the moment. Her and Kia and Kavan, they were the moment. So why the hell would you not bring her back? She did say that she still, like, she reached out to him after the show just to, you know, like, what was that about, and check in on how he feels and stuff like that. Whatever. They squashed it. They cool. It's no beef. Her and Kia are also really cool, really close, whatever. So there's that. And so when Kevin comes over, the girls are surrounding him, asking him, like, you know, what happened to you? Like, what happened? Like, we kind of thought that you were gonna make it happen either with Tyler or Kia, but Tyler left and Kia was still there, and you still did not get a girl. You still didn't leave with anybody or anything technically. And he's still like so laxy daisy. He's telling the story in slow motion, and I know he's talking slow because Kia is like on the side of him, like spit it out, like say what it is, like. And again, it could be the way they edited the scene, but no, she was like, one of the ladies told him like he needed to step up as a man. He agreed, and he was just saying how, you know, Kia taught him how to be another yawn. I'm so tired. But he talks about how Kia taught him how to, I don't know what he said, maybe like express himself, or I don't know. I don't remember, but Kia taught him something, okay? And he was like, you know, I'll never forget that. And she was like, how could you? And they laughed about it, like, you know, ha ha ha, he. And I'm still like, where the fuck is Tyler? Where is Tyler? Like, I love this whole showering Kia with, you know, all the, oh, she's amazing, she's graceful, with all that stuff. Okay, cool. Where the fuck is Tyler? Can we get into that one? Okay. So moving on, next scene, we move on to Connor and Bree. So they're still all at the meetup, and like I said, the episode started with Bree and Chris at the bar. So while she's sitting there talking and jonesing with Chris, Connor was watching the whole time. So when she does return back over to her fiance Connor, he asks her, like, you know, what was that about? Let's talk about it. And she goes, oh, nah, let's just talk about it later. No, bitch, let's talk about it right now. Cause ain't you the same one? Ain't you the same one? You was the same one that was talking about after y'all got out the pause and met up with everybody, like, oh, why is everyone being so surface level and no one wants to talk in depth, and I made these connections and no one, everybody's being fake and I want to talk more. You wanted to talk then and be messy after people had already coupled up, but now you don't want to talk about it because he gagged you, because you really want him, but now you see that he's an asshole. You really wanted Chris. Girl, I'm not trying to hear it. Let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it now, because you were so pressed before to have these conversations. Now you don't want to have a little chit chat. You don't want to be messy because it's your business. You don't want to be messy. Girl, boo. And I put, remember how pressed you was to have real conversations after the pause and the meetup. Exactly. And I said, what happened, Pookie? What happened? What happened? You don't want to talk no more? Okay. So then we move on. Next scene. It's this little piece of hair sticking out. It's irritating me, but let's go on. Move it over there. So next scene, we have Priyanka, Alex, and Ashley. And I said, yes. Let's get into it. Let's get into the tea. Yeah, Priyanka, pull up a motherfucking chair, cause you know Alex. What's tea? What is given? What is he about? What is Mr. Jobless, Mr. Homeless? What is he about? Tell the grills what's up. Yeah. So, you know, they're talking and I'm like, hey, Priyanka girl. And, you know, Alex makes a joke as they're moving in on the table, like sitting at the table. He's like, oh, no, Priyanka says, yeah, you married my wife. And he was like, yeah, no, she's my wife now. And you were friends with my wife. But I don't know, within him saying you were friends with my wife, it was like an underlining of that he wasn't talking about Ashley. It seemed like he was talking about a whole nother bitch. Like a whole nother bitch that he was going to wife up. To me, that's what it sounded like. That's what it looked like. That's what, because technically, y'all at this meetup, but y'all not even married yet. You feel me? So like, I didn't like the way he said it. It just gave. Maybe I was reading too deep in between the lines, but no, you said it right. She was friends with your wife. Yeah, you said it right. Okay, so then she talks about how she met him in Chicago and then later on seeing him in Austin. Hold up. Another yawn. Excuse me. Okay, so basically Ashley had asked, like, you know, how do you guys know each other? So she's like, yeah, I met him in Chicago. And then I also seen him in Austin, you know. And he was like, yeah, I was going back and forth, you know, trying to figure out my lease. And then Ashley was looking like, what you mean? What you talking about back and forth from Austin to Chicago? What are you talking about? And he's like, I told you that. She like, no, you didn't. Not quite. You didn't tell me the story like that. So Priyanka's like, oh, yeah, like, when I seen you, you said you were staying in Austin. I said, yes, Priyanka, get into it. Get into it. Spill it. Spill it, girl. Tell it all. Tell us the girl name, why don't you? Tell us that. Like, go ahead. Tell us more. And she was like, yeah, when I seen you in Austin, you said you were going to be moving there. And he was like, oh, yeah, like, you know, at that time, you know, and she's like, yeah, you were living with that travel nurse, right? Your girlfriend was a travel nurse. You were living with her. And she was like on an assignment, so you were staying there. I'm like, Priyanka, girl, you telling all the business. Mind you, Ashley is sitting there gagged. She like, what? Huh? What? Who? Austin? Where? Back and forth? Who? What? There's no way he lied to me. Something isn't adding up right. You didn't say this. You didn't say that. I said, oh, Lord. I really just wanted Ashley like, girl, sit back and take notes. Let's see how much information Priyanka gonna get out of this man. But then he started to try to get off the conversation after she said that. like, oh yeah, you were, you live in that trailer. He's like, yeah, Ashley, we talked about this. She's like, that's not quite how you talked about it, but okay. And he's like, yeah, but anyway, like, kind of like, anyways, Priyanka, how are you, type of thing. And no, Ashley was still stuck on that. She like, wait, you said that you just visited Austin. And he was like, well, yeah, I visited, but I also stayed there. So she's like, wait, so you actually stayed with this nurse? Priyanka was like, oh yeah, I thought that you were just there temporarily while your traveling nurse girlfriend was on an assignment. Like, I didn't know that you guys were actually living in Austin. And he was like, well, yeah, that was what was going on, but again, I was trying to figure out, if I really wanted to stay there, going back and forth, blah, blah, blah. So Ashley is like, so to me, when you said that you were in Austin, you said you visited your ex for about a week. You said you only visited her and you hooked up just during that time that you visited her. You never said you lived with her. And when you said she was on an assignment, you made it seem like she was on an assignment like somewhere else. You didn't tell me that you and her were living together. Yeah, so you lied. Listen, it was all a lie, okay? So he's still trying to like basically say like, yeah, no, I lived in Cleveland for a year and I got my license in Cleveland and I stayed there for about a year, and then I did live in Austin, but I lived there, with my ex and when I didn't have a girlfriend. Like, I but I didn't want to tell that part because I didn't want to get all into this. I just told you the part that I felt was important, and I held all the other information because I didn't feel like I needed to explain all that to you, and I don't think it's relevant to the situation or the conversation. Priyanka was like, it's not relevant to your fiance. It's not relevant, and you marrying her. And he was like, so now y'all double teaming me. She's like, oh no, it's not. I'm not trying to double team. Oh yeah. It's a 2-on-1. It's a 2-on-1. No, I get it. And she's like, no, I was trying to be a friend, and I was just trying to like, trying to figure out things with. He was like, no. You know what, Ashley? What he said? He said, you want to go through my Airbnb? You want to go through my Airbnb account so we could like line up the dates? Do you want me to show you my license? Do you want to what he said? He said some other shit. But when he said that, like, do you want me to go through my Airbnb, history? Do you want me to show you my license? She said, fuck your license, nigga. This Ashley, she said, fuck your license. I don't want to see your license, nigga. I just want the truth. Just tell me the truth. Just say what it is. Why you trying to mix up stuff? Like, every time you tell a story and I re-ask you about that story, all of a sudden, oh, that's not what I said, and oh, I meant this, and I didn't mean that. I didn't want to tell all of that. I told you some parts of it, but I didn't tell you all of it. Like, nigga, you is a straight up liar. Didn't your daddy tell you that, Ashley? Didn't your daddy tell you that the truth is not his strongest characteristic? No, he said honesty is not his strength. That's what he said. Didn't he tell you that? You should listen. So then she's also like, well, she asked him something about like his timelines and like, you act like you don't remember this stuff. And he like, I don't. No, she's saying you act like you remember everything, like of how it went. And he's like, I don't. And she's like, well, you act like you do because the way you tell the stories, like, it's so detailed, it's so specific to certain stuff. And he's like, well, it's because I come up with the answer. He said some shit like come up with the answer. That the little bell in my mind was like, What do you mean come up with the answer? You gotta read between the lines when these niggas is talking. Especially one like Alex. What you mean come up with the answer? Cause you trying to hide the truth. You trying to come up with something to hide the truth. Heard you. So then he tries to bring up her past. He's like, don't you have a past? Don't you have people that you dealt with? You know, are you still communicating with them? She's like, no. He's like, did you mess around with people in between relationships? She's like, no, I'm not you, Alex. I'm not doing that. I didn't do that. And he was like, well, that's questionable. Like, I find it hard to believe that. First of all, Nick, we ain't talking about me. We talking about you lying about Austin. We talking about you lying about where you was at. Was you in Cleveland or was you in Austin? Which one? Was you living with that gal or was you not? You said you wasn't. You said you was just visiting her, but now turns out you was living with her. What's tea? And then you left and you don't talk to her no more? Come on now. So then he's like, well, if you want to know every time I jerk off, no, if you want to know every time I jerk off, I'll let you know. Ooh, spicy. Like, hold the fuck up. And Priyanka, at this point, Priyanka was still at the table. So she's just like, I would have been doing the same thing. Like, sipping my tea, like, girl, you need to ask more questions. Like, you need to ask more in-depth questions. Because why is you just not finding out this? And I just came to meet up with y'all. Like, why is you just not finding out that he was living with that traveling nurse? Why is you just not finding out that? But that's because that he be lying. It ain't her fault. He be lying. So then, I think Priyanka must have said one more last thing. And then Alex was like, oh, so it's a 2-in-1. And he was like, matter of fact, why are you here? And she was like, wait, hold on. Don't be getting snappy with me. And she was like, matter of fact, yeah, y'all two discuss that and I'm going to just leave. I'm going to just, let y'all talk about that. And it's like, right, you should have done that. But at the same time, thank you, Priyanka, for saying that stuff. Because we needed that tea on Alex. Because this motherfucker be lying to Ashley. And Ashley be trying to get the truth out of him. And it just don't be working. Like, and now she's sitting there like, oh, do you realize how dumb I look? And he's like, what? Like, I told you and stuff. But all in all, his story did not line up. And he's like, oh, what do you want to know? Like, down to the hour, the day? She's like, it ain't about down to the hour or the day. It's down to the year. Like, you should know what you did. Like, in regards to a relationship, you should know, oh, that was like a year ago. Oh, that was like 2 years ago. Or I was with her for about a year. Like, you should be able to say that. But she was on his ass. Okay? I was over there like, get his ass, Ashley. Finally. But as hard as you went about his relationships, you should have went about that job. That job that he claims he got, that he don't really got, that he waiting on the offer. You should have went hard about that. Because I feel like if you would have went hard about that, you would not be sitting here at this meetup having this conversation with him. Because it should have been a finito after that. Finito. You ain't got no job, Tommy. I don't even know why I'm talking to your ass, okay? I don't even know why I'm making future plans with your ass and you ain't got no income. Like, what's tea, okay? So then, after all of that, he's like, so, where does that leave us? And she's like, well, it's in your hands, it's in your hands. And I'm just like, girl, no, it's not in his hands. It's in your hands. Do you want to he's willing to be like, listen, you either gonna deal with me or you not. That's what type of vibe he on. You need to make the executive decision to say if you're gonna deal with that bullshit or not. That lying, scheming ass, broke ass, homeless ass behavior. Are you gonna deal with that? Make a decision. We're waiting. But clearly you are, because you want that dick. Like, let's just be honest. That's what you want. and it's okay. But don't try to make it about the girls and this and that. You're settling for Alex. He ain't got shit to offer you but dick, and you know that. But you're trying to make it about something else because you are in denial, or you don't want to come to terms that he ain't got shit to offer your ass. Okay? Moving on. Next scene. So they're still at the meetup, and it shows Chris going to shake Connor's hand. He's clearly drunk, and then he asks to talk to Jessica. First of all, Chris, you slimy ass Smurf. Why in the heck? You was just over at the bar trying to get with Connor girl. Now you over here shaking his hand. No loyalty, no. He the worst kind. He the worst kind of friend, okay? Next. So now Chris and Jessica is at the bar. And he just like sitting there with this weird ass smile, like, it just upset me, like how he was just cheesing in her face, like, whole time you don't hurt this woman, like you don't crush this woman's heart, you don't broke her heart because you over there talking about how her body ain't the body that you like and this and that, she need to be doing yoga. You don't broke her heart, and now you want to be smiling in her face. I ought to. Okay. He's complimenting her like, yeah, you know, you look good. He's like, how's work going? How does it feel being back? You know, how's everything? First of all, how the fuck should she be? This breakup might have just happened probably like a day or two ago. She's still affected by it. You feel me? Because she thought that she was going to spend her life with you. She thought she was going to be able to go pick out a dress. She thought she was going to be able to walk down the aisle. You feel me? So he's all weird, dumbass. I'm like, oh, how was work? You know, how are you feeling? Are you okay? And she's like, no. And I'm mad at her for even giving him this information. She should be like, oh, everything's good. That's what she should have said. But instead she goes, let me make sure. But instead she goes, oh, you know, it's horrible. Like, it's bad. Like, I've been working a lot. You know, this has been on my mind. I thought, you know, things were going to work out, and it didn't. So, yeah, I just been working a lot. Like, and it's just crazy. Whatever. So, she's clearly stressed out. She's not feeling it. She's not herself. You know, that's kind of basically what she's conveying to him. And he goes, well, you never text me. And she like, what? What do you mean I never text you? I did text you. I said, are you alive? And he said, yeah, but who cares about that? And she's like, I text you multiple times. But hold on, y'all. Because just in episode 8, didn't this motherfucker tell her, oh, I don't need to contact you all the time. I don't need to talk to you throughout the day. I don't need to do all that. But now, after the breakup, you want her to be contacting you, calling you, texting you, checking in with you after you done said some bullshit to her about why this can't work because you're not physically attracted to her body. Huh? Make it make sense, Chris, for real. Get yourself together. Make it make sense. And then he was like, I wasn't trying to be mean. Yes, you were. You were trying to be mean and demeaning. You were trying to bring her down. You were trying to embarrass that girl. You were trying to make her feel low because you feel low about yourself. And I just found out that he's only 5'6". Like, stop playing, Chris. Stop playing. Like, you not who you think you is. You're not. Like, you're not. But you tried it. So he tells her, like, yeah, you know, you're so attractive. You have dark features. She's like, I don't need you to tell me why I'm attractive. Like, I don't need you to go into this whole spiel about how I look. And that's my thing. Why did he sit up there and tell that girl, oh, you have dark features? So that right there was kind of like, okay, she got dark features, so that's not your type. So you like blondes. Cool, got it. I think we all might have got that. But now that you're actually saying, oh, you got dark features and all of this bullshit, and just the simple fact of how attracted to Brie that you were and all of that, it was just like, okay, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. But why would you sit there and say that to that girl? I just didn't understand it. Then he goes and say, you know, when can we chill? When is your next day you're going to be free? She don't want to chill with you. She don't want to spend time with you. Mind you, I just told you the nigga know where she live at. He the type. He the type. He the type. Probably drive past her house. Probably drive down her street. Like, oh, you know, I was just in the neighborhood. Probably come send shit to her house, flowers and shit to her house. Oh, you know, I didn't really mean what I said. Or can I stop by? Or, hey, I was just walking my dog. I want to stop by. Like, he the type, okay? And I hate that for her. Because why would you want to chill with her after that? It don't make no sense. So he's like, well, fine, you know, then I'll just worry about myself and my life. And she's like, I already thought that's what you was doing. Like, once you said, I already thought that's what type of vibe you was on. Like, I thought you was just going to leave me alone. You was going to do you, worry about your life, and I'm worried about mine. And then he's like, you know, it's starting to seem like you don't know who I am. You don't know who I am, Jessica. And she was like, yeah, I thought I knew you. Yeah, you thought, and I thought you didn't. And I thought I knew you. It's a Nicki Minaj song. Anyway, but it's like, boy, she don't know you because you literally just switched up on her a few days ago. Like, she thought she knew you from from the pods to Cabo to meeting in person, spending time, having sex, going to each other's house, you know, all of that. She thought she had you down pat. She thought she had this in a bag, and then you switched on her. So for you to sit up in her face and say, you acting like you don't know me. No, she don't know you. Absolutely not. She doesn't know you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, is he delusional? Like, something's wrong with this man at this point. So the next clip, it shows like all the couples kissing, you know, Vic and Christine. It even shows Devontae and Brittany. It shows Emma and Mike. Everybody just little smooch. Okay, cute. And then, you know, Jordan's over there with the guys talking. And Vic kind of asked him, like, you know, how you feeling? What's been going on and stuff like that. And he was like, you know, I'm nervous. You know, I go meet her daughter. Or no, I think he asked, like, have you met her daughter yet? He's like, nah. You know, I haven't met her yet. I got her some gifts and stuff, some things I think she might like. But, you know, what if she doesn't like me? You know, I'm really nervous about meeting her. You know, it's scary. I'm scared. So while he's sitting there talking, saying all that, Amber is right behind his back. But she's turned the other way. But she's listening in on what he's talking about. So after she heard him say, I'm scared and all that, she turned around like, listen, if you want a bell, just let me know now. If you gonna sit up here and meet my daughter and then turn around and say, I don't at the goddamn altar, or if you gonna be on some bullshit with me, let me know now, okay? Before I'll take that extra step and walk down this aisle and have you meet my daughter and all that, just for you to like play with me like that. Jordan was like, no, you heard the wrong thing. Like, please listen. But she shut his ass out. She didn't want to hear nothing. So I'm like, damn, how did we get here? Like, that was my couple that I'm rooting for. Okay, so for them to now be arguing about that or her giving him the cold shoulder, I was just like, wait, hold on, Amber, you gotta understand. But I'm gonna get back to her. So now we're on Ashley and Alex. Okay, they're back at the house. This is after the meetup. Everybody goes home. So everybody's been drinking and stuff. So like when you get home, you want to eat, you want to relax. But they have a debriefing before, we order food and relax, go to sleep, whatever. And Ashley apologizes to Alex and says, I apologize for attacking you. Excuse me? Only motherfucker who should be apologizing right now is Alex for lying to you, okay? That's the only one that should be apologizing. You shouldn't be apologizing for being inquisitive, for being curious, to trying to figure out the truth, to trying to figure out if this man is the one for you. If you feeling his bop, like, I don't think she should apologize for that. Like, What type of bullshit is that? If he did feel like he was getting attacked or feel like he was being double teamed, the only way he would have won that war was by telling the truth. You got Priyanka knowing you from the past, and then you got Ashley knowing you like currently. And their stories, it just ain't mixing. It ain't lining up with what you're telling Ashley. So for this girl to be now apologizing, I'm like, girl, fuck him. Fuck him. Ain't no apologizing shit, girl, no. And then she asked him, like, you know, have you been talking to your ex? He's like, no, I haven't talked to her. You know, we got our phones back. I haven't seen her I haven't talked to her in a few weeks or a few days. Like, we haven't reached out to each other. And I'm just like, that don't mean she ain't gonna reach out to you. She know you on this show. She know you on the show. And I'm pretty sure since you haven't had your phone, that's why she hasn't contacted you, because you haven't reached out to her. You haven't told her, like, hey, I'm done with the Love is Blind here. Like, you, I would assume y'all haven't talked, you know? But also, you could be lying. You could have deleted messages, but whatever. That's neither here or there. So then she asked him, like, you know, well, are you going to text her after the experiment? Like, say, you know, we don't work out. Are you going to text her? He's like, no. And I'm just like, this lying son of a gun. He going to talk about something. You know, I'm happy for her. She's happy for me. And, you know, that's just that. We don't talk like that. But just like a couple of episodes ago, you were just saying how y'all was cool. Y'all used to check in with each other. And how was life and how is it going? Y'all, you just was saying that. But now you don't talk to her. And now all of a sudden you could just not talk to her, not communicate with her at all. And no check-ins, none of that. This man be lying, okay? So Ashley asked him, like, you know, are you happy? You know, are you happy? And he's like, I'm happy. But why he's saying I'm happy? This is him. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. Like, your body language is everything. You sitting there shaking your head saying I'm happy. No, you're not, Alex. Who is you fooling? Who are you fooling? Because you ain't fooling me. Me as a viewer, you're not fooling me. And I don't see how Ashley still lets you sit in her face and let you play on her top like that. Okay. So Ashley's like, okay. And she smiles. Okay. Okay. Like, everything's all good. And I'm like, either... So this okay could mean two different things. Like, me personally... okay with a smirk, that's some evil shit. Like, oh no, you I'm gonna get my get back. Or it could be a okay, like, okay, whatever, let's fucking make up. That's it. It was kind of giving both of those. I could not really sense the energy of like what kind of okay that was. Like, or maybe she was just done with the conversation and she just like played it off like, okay, okay, like, I believe you. I believe you. Like, I don't know. So after that, he starts ordering McDonald's. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's like, ugh, he does this thing like where it's like, you want McDonald's, large fry, Big Mac, barbecue sauce, a high HC, 2 Oreo cookies, McFlurry, and like, he says it like, oh, like, look, I know you, like, I know you. We're about to order this food. I'm gonna order exactly what you want, and I'm gonna give you what you want. But let's order this food first. Like, I get you exactly what you like. It's kind of like his way of like buttering her up with the McDonald's. Like, I just don't know. The standard is, listen, the standard is on the floor. My phone is about to die. Okay, it's literally 10%. Hold on, I need to get my charger. But I gotta grab it real fast. Where is it? Hopefully y'all don't see the bottom of me. Okay. I got my charger. So, like, yeah, he's like taking her order from McDonald's. I'm like, oh my God. I'm irritated with him. I'm mad that he know her McDonald's order. Like, girl, get a grip of yourself. And she's just laughing like, yeah. Yeah, barbecue sauce. Yeah, a Big Mac, yeah. Like, girl, are you okay? Like, I don't know if this is how they just edited the scene. Like, did he say some slick, smooth shit to you and then you start acting like that? Or, like, did you get in the mood? Like, why did you start acting like that? It was just, like, weird. She was just, like, mesmerized or something. Like, did he hypnotize you, girl? Blink twice if you're okay. Like, I was confused. But even with him ordering the McDonald's too, I'm like, oh, he just happy that she got off that conversation. Like, she just said okay, and he just instantly changed the subject. You want a Big Mac? You want a large fry? A Coke? A large Coke? You want some Oreos? A McFlurry? Okay, yeah, yeah. I'm just like, let's stop talking about that. Let's get over that. Like, I'm gonna make you forget about all that, girl. All right, so next scene, we're on Amber and Jordan. Okay, so, Amber just goes to sleep. She doesn't want to talk to Jordan at this point. So again, this is after a meetup and everybody's getting home. So they're home. She's in the bed, laying in the bed. She's like, I don't want to talk to him. I just can't do it tonight. Whatever. He checks in like, Amber, you want to talk or you want me to leave you alone? She gives him the silent treatment. All right. So Bree and Connor get home, and remember Connor was like, what was you and Chris talking about? And she was like, oh, we're gonna talk about it later. So they start talking about it. Hold up, let me sit myself up. They start talking about it. And she's like, yeah, Connor, he DM'd me, he inboxed me and stuff, and he was over there trying to, basically, shoot a shot with me. And I was like showing him my ring and telling him, like I'm with someone. And like, I was telling him like, you are my only and first pick. And I would not choose to do this with anybody else but you. And y'all know Brie likes to lie. Y'all know she liked to lie. And I just wish Connor would have asked her some questions. He just let her say the bullshit. And he was like, okay, yeah, like, Because my question would have been, hold up. Excuse me. My question would have been, okay, well, if you weren't in this relationship, would you have pursued him? Would you have went to 4 seasons with that man? Would you have tried to work that out? Right now it's distasteful. Right now it's disrespectful because you're with me, right? But if you were not, where would your mind be? He didn't ask shit. And I'm like, Connor, ask her if she got feelings for this man. Ask her questions. Why are you just leaving it at that? Like, no. Because she was so forthcoming with telling you how she wanted to talk to him, she wanted to see him again, and all of that bullshit. Now she feels that now she don't want to talk too much. She don't want to say too much. She leaving certain shit out. You feel me? Like, what is that about? She's like, yeah, he started saying some weird stuff. No, he was saying exactly what you wanted to hear. It wasn't weird stuff. It's what you wanted to hear. And he said that he's seen you as a fuck buddy. If he would have said, I seen you as a wife, the conversation would be very different with Connor right now on his couch. But he made you feel that small. He made you feel like nothing. He made you feel like any girl. Really. You weren't special in that moment. And that's what pissed you off. So, And then she also asked him about what he said. Hold on. Excuse me. She also asked him about him and like what he said. Like, oh, like, did he tell you that? Did he tell you he was gonna pick me, or did you tell him who you were gonna pick, or some shit like that? Hold up, my phone really. Hopefully it don't die. Okay, so I'm charger. And he was like, no, that didn't happen. I think he's just trying to get us to go against each other. And I agree. I feel like that's what he was doing. So hopefully in the reunion, there's not a clip that comes out that says different, okay? So what else? I have to kind of speed this up a little bit because my phone on some weird shit. Um, and then Connor was just telling her, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm just glad me and you were able to connect on a genuine level. Like, it wasn't about money, it wasn't about status, it wasn't about how I looked, nothing. It was just genuine connection, like, period, point blank. And then how perfect timing, like, as they're talking, Chris ends up texting Bree. And he texts her in vanish mode. You know, that's when you make the messages disappear. And he asks her where she's staying tonight. And Connor's like, let me reply. Bree's like, no, don't reply, because if you reply, it's just gonna keep going. But see, that's the problem that's the problem that I have, because I don't think that's his first time texting you. That's not his first time texting you, because you said it when y'all was at the meetup. But even before that, I think he's been texting you. He's been writing you. He's been calling you. And it's only so many messages and calls that you've been showing and telling Connor. And I feel like you have been replying and you have been responding. And that's why he feels the way he does. And that's why how he moved the way he does. And listen, this is a scheme set up by Todd. Watch my last recap. I said it. Like, I'm like, no, he's just too comfortable. Like, all of a sudden he want to text her. But I mean, he could be drunk too. But I just don't feel like. I feel like he constantly has hit her up. But now she's trying to say, oh, I want to cut it off. Now I don't want to talk to him. Why? Because she called you a fuck buddy? Is that why? That has to be why. And then that conversation ended in them having a thumb fight, which was very corny. I'm like, man, what the hell is this? And she's just like Alex, where it's like, okay, yeah, let's change the subject. Thumb wars. Girl, you still a liar. I'm on to you. Okay, next we talk, they show Vic and Christine. I'm sick of seeing them, honestly. I want to see them because of the black man. Yes, he needs more showtime. You feel me? But I'm tired of it. They're at the florist. Hold up. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to edit those yawns out. I don't know how to do that. So yeah, you're gonna get it. Yeah, okay. So Vic and Christine is at the florist and they're picking out flowers, the bouquet for the bride. Okay. And I'm just trying to figure out, where the hell is Vic's family? She still hasn't met the mom or the daddy. When is she gonna meet them? At the wedding? Is she gonna meet them in the dressing room at the wedding? Like, when is she gonna meet them? Is she gonna meet them when they're sitting in the front row? Like, I'm confused. I feel like they're forcing this scene to be romantic as she's picking the flowers and they're setting it up. I'm like, this is not romantic. It's not that serious. The flowers aren't that cute. Like, please, moving along. And I'm like, maybe this couple is all good. Maybe this connection is all good. Like, from the beginning to now, and the season is about to be over. They haven't had any hiccup at all in their connection. I'm like, is it all good? Is this gonna make it? Are they the one couple that makes it? Like, I don't know. And he said something like, I can't wait for forever with you, or I can't wait to spend forever with you. And he said this more than one time, and I'm like, okay, it's looking like they will be an I do at the altar. Okay, but I don't know. Something just doesn't seem all the way right. I don't know. So now we move over to Mike and Emma. And Emma is trying to pick out colors for the wedding. And she wants him to participate. She wants his opinion as well. She asking him, like, you know, what color do you think we should do? You think we should do green? And he's like, oh, I just never thought about this type of stuff, so I just don't even know. You know what? And she's like, well, look, you know, we can think about it now. And he's like, well, let's just, whatever you want. And she's like, no, it's not gonna be whatever I want. You're gonna also have an opinion too. It's what both of we want. Like, we're gonna be in the wedding together. And at this point, I'm just like, girl, pack it the fuck up. Mike is stuck on that baby. You don't want to have no baby, okay? You don't want to have no baby. He ain't ready to pick out no colors. He ain't marrying you. He gonna be getting to that altar and he gonna be like, I do not. You know why? Because he want a baby, and you haven't said that you're gonna have his baby. So he can't even wrap his mind around decorating a wedding or picking out colors. He can't even get past that. And I'm just like, ugh, he's so bothered by her picking out colors. Like, ugh, boy, bye. So we move on to Brittany and Devontae. So Brittany shares that she has a side hustle. Lashes. She does lashes. I said, okay, girl. A nurse in the daytime and a lash tech on the weekends. Okay, period. As she should. But she said some shit like, oh, you know, I don't like to really tell people I do this because I tell them I do it out, you know, my basement. And it's like, oh, ghetto. Ah. It's like, bitch, you know how many lash techs do lashes out their house? Let me come over. Come on over, Brittany. Come on over to my hood, okay? Come on over. Let me show you how these lash techs really get to it. Nobody ever cared about the area on where the lashes is getting done. Nobody ever cared about that. What are you talking about, girl? Get that money. Anyways, you should have tagged your lash. You should have tagged your lash tag, Lash by Brittany. You should have tagged that up in there, girl. You would have a plethora of, not plethora, but you would have plenty of new clients off of just that. Okay, girl. I'm gonna find you online. And when I'm in Ohio, I want my lashes done. Okay, boo. Okay. So moving on. She's talking about like she can't wait to come home and say, honey, I'm home. Like she can't wait to be in that moment. So, you know, clearly Brittany has lived by herself. She hasn't had a lover to go home to. So I can understand how she feels about that. They start talking about finances. This is what I could appreciate. Because Brittany didn't even bring it up. Devontae brought it up. Like, you know, how much are your bills? How do you let's talk about how we gonna do this, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm in sales. Sometimes my sales are up, sometimes they're down. He was being very forefront with that and honest about it, and saying like, you know, when I was living by myself in Charlotte, my bills was $5,200. I said, where the fuck was you living at? Damn. And he said that was before the utilities. What kind of house did you have? I would have loved to see that house. Brittany like, well, you know, my bills are $1,800, and I feel like that's about right. Like, girl, my bills up, they about high up there too, girl. I feel you. But she like, you know, it'll be so nice to share bills, period. I'm like, yes, and he's willing, he wants to, and okay, Devontae, you showing another side of you. You acting like you really like her. Hold on. How did we get here? Because this is the couple that I felt like was gonna fail and like was not gonna do well. But now it seems like they're striving. So I'm just like so taken aback by this moment. And then he also was saying stuff like, you know, I'm gonna get used to this. And he's like, oh, you know, our little home, this will be our little home. So he's planning on moving with Brittany, which, okay, because it seems like it'll be affordable and it makes sense for both of them. Okay, at this point. So I'm sitting there like, is he thinking about marrying her? Hold on. Is he thinking about marrying her? Okay, Devontae. All right, so next we go back to Bree and Connor. So this is so fake. I hate this because Connor goes to visit Bree's family and they don't have a camera crew with them. They're filming on their phone. And I guess Connor meets her dad. Her dad, who also is called G-Man. What? She's recording little clips like the drive up. She's recording some clips of like the family, like her aunt and maybe like her grandma or something. No clips of her father, but then they insert pictures of her, Connor, and her father in a group photo. Where is the footage of him talking to Connor? Huh? Well, how did that interaction go? That's what we wanted to see. And I feel like, I don't know if her dad was, I don't know if he was okay with her being on Love is Blind. And I also don't know if he was okay with being recorded or on camera. Let's be honest, okay? He probably was like, oh no, I'm not gonna be on camera. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm too good for that. I'm not gonna be part of some type of social experiment. Yeah. So I'm like, where's the camera crew? Like, this ain't, if y'all wasn't even gonna add that in there, y'all could have just took her whole part out about her going to Grand Rapids, all of that. Because again, Christine didn't meet Vic's mom. Who else didn't meet? Did Brittany meet Devontae's family? Like, it's certain people that still haven't met parents, and y'all didn't add that up in there. Y'all, just like when Jordan met Amber's baby daddy, y'all didn't put the clip in there. They just mentioned it. Like, yeah, you know, we talked, we met, you know, it was cool. Y'all went up there to play on that phone and didn't bring out no good footage. We want to see the interaction with your daddy and Connor. That's what we want to see. Bree, you know what's up. So anyways, moving on. So now it's the next day, and Amber is getting home off of work, and Jordan is there. He's very anxious, you know, about what she's gonna say, how she's feeling. He's probably feeling like it's over at this point. Like, damn, I done lost this girl. I done said the wrong thing. I don't know why I would even say that. So she really more so felt away because he did not tell her that he was feeling scared. He was feeling nervous, and that's how she feels. And she understands that it's hard to, you know, meet someone's child and stuff like that. But she's like, next time just tell me first. Don't tell your friends about how you feel. Tell me. And he's like, all right, I could do that. I apologize for not coming to you and telling you, you know. And I want you to know that I really do love you. My feelings are real. And I still do want to meet your daughter. And yes, it is scary. But, you know, I'm going to do it because it's you. And I love you, you know. And I said, at the end of the day, I just feel like with this process, I honestly wouldn't want to have my kid be in the like meeting this person that I'm not sure that I want to actually spend the rest of my life with. Like, at a certain age, I feel like, okay, it's cool to introduce your child to this person, but I don't remember how old she said her daughter was. I think she said 9, but I also would feel like, okay, a bit anxious, like, damn, like, what if she don't like me, you know? Like, this is all too soon. Like, I don't know how to be. He also said, like, I don't know how to be a dad. Like, I don't ever had a kid. Like, I don't even know how to be. Like, he just don't want to mess up. That's what I was getting from him. And how he feel is very valid. All his feelings are valid. But I don't think in any circumstance that he was saying that he was going to leave her, or he wanted to get away, or not go through the process. He has a very open heart to Amber. Okay. So let's see. Let's move on. So, also, with Amber, I was saying, like, Amber don't play. Like, she don't play that shit. She was just saying, like, how, you know, other guys, how they say they're going to marry you, how they going to do this and that, and they end up, like, leaving you, or they end up hurting you or something. And Jordan's like, listen, I'm not them other guys. Stop comparing me to them. Like, I'm actually insulted that you keep comparing me to them. Forget them. It's me. And this is, like, just stop it. Just cut it out. So now we move on to the guys meeting up. So all the guys meet up. And I'm like, who the hell are these extras? It's a man. He's a redhead. Had a red mustache. He just in the camera. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Was he in the pods? Who is he? So the guys meet up and they're counseling Connor, and they're all agreeing that, you know, Chris is fake. He's disrespectful. We don't fucks with him. We ain't gonna talk to him no more. And then Connor says, yeah, like, that nigga 5'6". Like, he can't fuck with me. He 5'6". Bree wouldn't even go for his type. You know, they bigging him up, joking, laughing, making jokes, whatever. Cool, funny moment. And then I seen what's his name? Nick Lachey, whatever. He walks in, he greets all of them like, hello, gentlemen. And I swear it's a room, it's like at least 20 guys in the room. And I'm just like, who the fuck are these other contestants on the show? Are these other people that didn't get filmed? Like, who the fuck are these people? The way they was sitting and positioning them, like, they were all separate, spaced out, like. And then I realized this is the family. This is their family and friends. So for some of this is like a friend. This is friends. This is brothers. I ain't seen nobody daddy, but I seen friends and brothers because they were about to go try in their tuxedos. And I see Devontae. And I see him with two men. I said, wait, are those twins? Did Devontae bring his brothers as twins to the show? And he do look different from his brothers. Let's just say that. But I'm still confused. Who the hell are these people? Who the hell are these people? So then the scene switches over to the women meeting up. And the same thing. Who the hell are these extras? Who are these women? I've never seen these women. Were they in the experiment? Were they in the pods? Like, I'm confused. Turns out they family and friends. Cool. So they're going to try in their dresses, whatever. So Bree talks about how she bought her dress before. Bree talked about how she bought her dress before this experiment and she loves her dress and she's so happy she bought it. Her mom is co-signing like, yeah, we just knew, we had faith with you going in and we knew you were going to find somebody. And I'm like, desperado? Desperate much? Like, girl, you ain't know you was gonna find no man. You ain't had no faith or none of that. You just bought that goddamn dress because you so damn pressed to be married. And you was gonna find somebody to connect with. And I guess Devontae was the guy, but now I feel like you forced it. Just so you can have your moment with your dress. Like, honestly, I'm sorry. So then it shows Vic and friends. I'm like, is these Vic's real friends? Are these his friends? Like, it's not believable. It shows Christine. She's trying on 1,000,000 dresses. I'm like, damn, girl. Damn. You don't like that one either? Damn, you don't like that dress either? Damn, girl, you don't like that dress either? Like, damn, pick a dress and get the fuck on. Like, and I want to look that up. Like, how do they select the dresses, or what is the budget for the dresses? Like, do they pay up front? Does Netflix just cover the whole thing? Or do they get a free dress? Are these dresses rented? Like, how do they do that? I was wondering. I'll look that up at another time. And then we switch over to Mike and his friends. And I'm like, are these Mike's friends? Is this believable? I don't think those Mike's friends. Especially if these are the ones that are married, the ones he was talking about. Oh, my friends are, I get online and my friends are married and having kids. Like, is it those friends? Them ain't your friends. And his friend gonna say, why? Oh, I think you look really good in the midnight blue. Shut the fuck up. Because Mike didn't even want to pick out his wedding colors. Had he did, he would be able to tell you, oh, yeah, midnight blue. Yeah, that's the perfect color. Or no, that's not a good color. He said, no, it's not good because, Emma didn't pick that color. I said, this man gonna say no at the altar. I already could tell. I could sense it. I could smell it. He's about to say no at the altar. Okay, and then we move over to Emma's dress. Emma got a very beautiful dress. Then they switch over to Devontae and his friends. Oh, no, Devontae. So it's not his brothers. It's one of them is his friend, and the other one is his brother. But they kind of looked like twins to me. I don't know. They kind of looked alike. But it was kind of believable. I'm like, okay, maybe this is his people, whatever. But that clip was very short. Devontae with his friend and his brother, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was it. That was a clip. Brittany's dress, very beautiful, but girl, I'm over it. If you and your mama tell the story again about how you bought the dress beforehand, and let me tell you all the quotes that I got from Brittany. Brittany was like, Brittany mama, she was like, well, you said he checks every box. You're finally doing it. This is, your dream. You said he checks every box. I'm like, Brittany, you told your mama that he checks every box? Why did you lie to your mama like that? You know damn well he don't check every box. He ain't even your damn type. So he can't check every box. Stop it. Then she says, oh, you know, he's worth the wait. Is he? Because you didn't want to wait for no compliments. You didn't want to wait for that. Are you sure he's worth the wait? Okay. She was like, oh, I've been waiting 32 years for this. Girl, since you stepped out of your mama's womb, you've been waiting to marry Devontae? Or you've been waiting to get married ever since you was born? Again, pick me, desperate energy, okay? Then she says, oh, her mother says something like, you know, oh, when he sees you, I know he's going to be like, you know, he's going to say this and that. And she's like, oh, he's a man of few words. I said, no, he's a man of no words, because he's never going to say you're beautiful. He's just going to say, oh, nice dress. That's what the hell he going to say. And you know that, Brittany. So why are you playing? Talking about he's a man of few words. No, the few words that he have, that's all he had. That's all he got. All right. And then she said, yeah, so he's a man with few words, and I've come to accept that. Did you really? Did you accept it when he was not having many words on your looks? Or telling you how much he's attracted to you, or that he likes you? Word, are you sure? I'm just trying to make sure you're sure, Brittany, because I just feel like someone is faking here. Like, I don't know, okay? So then it goes over to Connor's friends. And I'm like, okay, Connor's friends, they seem like real friends. They're joking with him. They're, you know, having banter. This seems real, okay? And then Connor says, oh, this is my I do text. So, tux. So I'm already like, okay, so Connor plans to say I do at the altar. He's planning on marrying Bree. Even though I don't think that he should. But, okay, whatever. We move on to Bree's dress. I hated it. Hated it. Like, that didn't even get wedding dress. I'm like, what the fuck is this spring sleeveless bullshit? Like, stop playing. It was like, okay, you know, like one of those shirts that is like a turtleneck, right? It's a turtleneck, but it's sleeveless. A sleeveless turtleneck at the top. And then the bottom is kind of like just straight down, really, like straight down with a little bit of a train. And it was all white, no diamonds, no bedazzle, no shine, no lace, no nothing. Just plain and this turtleneck, sleeveless bullshit. And I'm like, that's not even a wedding dress. Like, are you literally playing around? And that's why I have to really research on how do they pick those dresses. What is the budget? Does everybody get the same budget? Does everybody get to pick from a different variety of dresses? Or, you know, how is that negotiated? Because I just feel like, Brie, you picked the most ugliest dress like that you could find. But whatever. And especially for her, I was expecting like an extravagant dress, because the way that she talks, and she's just so uppity and bougie, and she just so this, she so that, and it's like, your dress should have been the baddest motherfucking dress on the show, but it wasn't. Okay. Next we I'm still going on about Brittany's dress. I said, Brittany, the dress is ugly. Or no, not Brittany, but Brie, the dress is ugly. Brittany did not like the dress. Her face was just like, I don't see what you see in this dress. It's bullshit. It's ugly. So then, also, Brie goes on to say, oh, well, you know, I'll just be myself instead of, you know, trying glitter and florals and lace. Like, I'll just be myself. And I feel like, I'm like, is that a shot? Are you taking a shot at the other girls who did try on lace and bedazzled and floral dresses? Like, you think you better than them because you have a plain ass dress? Like, what the fuck was that about? Why did you even say that? Like, what? Oh, I'll just be myself and just, instead of trying on the glitter, because I feel like you should have went more for that look to like balance out the ugliness within your soul and the physical. Okay, I'm sorry, that was mean, my bad. That was a little bit mean, I'm sorry. All right, next we go to Alex and his friends. I'm like, is this Alex's real friends? Do we believe this? These his friends? I don't think those Alex friends. He gonna talk about, you guys know I intuitively make my decisions. I'm like, intuitively, nigga, you ain't got no intuition if it smacks you on the head. If intuition smacks you on the head, you ain't got it because you ain't got no job. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no home. And you ain't got no direction in life. You don't even know where you're about to stay. You don't even know where you're about to do with this relationship. So you intuitively make decisions. I think you need to stop depending on your intuition. Yeah, okay. Anyways, he's like, yeah, I don't even feel nervous. How y'all felt when y'all was about to get married? They're like, I just felt right. And he's like, yeah, this feels normal to me and I'm excited. Don't look an ounce of excited. It looks like he's ready to leave this girl. That's what he said. Like he said something like, oh yeah, this feels like he's been through this before or something. Like, yeah, this feels normal. I'm excited. This feels normal. I'm excited. I said the only thing normal that's gonna feel is when you leave her at that altar or when you tell her you do not want to be with her. That's the only thing that's gonna be normal. Let's just be honest, Alex. You don't want to be with this girl. Cut it out. Next, Ashley's dress. Okay, Ashley's dress, the first dress she tried on, I was like, oh, that's the one. That one is eating down. Yes, pick that one. It's cute. It's super cute. And yes, she did look like the topper of a wedding cake. Yes, perfect dress. She's on some, this ain't the dress. Girl. Okay. So she changes her dress and she gets a plain Jane. Like same, tube top, corset little thing. It was white. It didn't flare as much at the bottom like the first one. It was more like in. I'm like, okay, it's plain Jane, but I guess. And she also said the same thing, like, I don't need to do the floral or the bedazzle or the glitter. And Bree face, I don't know if it was the way they edited it or not, but Bree face was just like, bitch, I just said that. You just said the same shit I said. And then at this point, I don't know if Bree's comments are microaggression. Like, it just seems that way. Like, yeah, you're gonna be a bride. You're a bride. We're about to be brides. And I don't know. Her comments just kind of were like a little bit slick. I don't know. She was the only one really commenting. And I don't know. Okay. Anyways, Ashley starts crying and she says she's just ready to marry Alex. I'm like, girl, are you sure? I would be crying too if I had to marry that man, but go ahead. So then the scene switches over to Jordan and his friends. And I was like, okay. I think these are Jordan's real friends. These have to be his real friends. And then he's talking about like what he's wearing, like his tuxedo. I think the blue tuxedo that he had on, it looked nice. It wasn't bad. But then that gray bullshit that he got from Salvation Army, it was oversized and it just looked a fucking mess. And he's talking about, it don't matter what I wear. She's going to love me and she's going to accept it. And that's the fucking problem. That's the problem right there. She got your ass comfortable to say some shit like that. Talking something, oh, well, if I show up in gym shorts, she'll be happy. I know I can't show up in gym shorts. I would never do that. But I know she'll still love me. I'm like, see, you better stop playing with her. Stop playing with her. Stop playing with her. Because I feel like you feel as though she's so desperate for love. And you could just bring anything to the table. That's what it's giving me at this point. Don't piss me off, okay? So boom, we move over to Amber's dress. Very beautiful. It was stunning. I expected her to have some floral, diamonds, sparkling, lace. I expected that from her just because her personality, but also she has a little girl. So like you kind of do it up for your daughters. Like, look at me in this beautiful dress and one day you're going to be in this beautiful dress. Or like you want to I just knew that's why she did it. And she also mentioned that, like, my daughter says she wants to see me in a, a nice sparkly dress. So this is why I went crazy like this and got this dress. Cool. Her friend and I think her sister were there to watch her put on her dress. And they were just like pouring into her. Like a lot of people, not just them, other castmates were pouring into her and like, you know, you're a great mother, you're a beautiful mother, you deserve this, and you know, like you're such a great human being. Like you know, just pouring into her. I almost motherfucking cried. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Like this is so sweet. It's such a great moment. But one thing I will say, I was tired of them calling all the girls with blonde hair Barbies. Why y'all ain't call Brittany a Barbie? Why y'all didn't call who else? Why y'all ain't call Emma a Barbie? Only the ones with blonde hair y'all was calling Barbie bitches. Everybody look, whoever dress got on, put on, look good, they look like a Barbie, okay? Barbie, blonde hair is not the only type of Barbie there is, okay? But yeah, so boom. We end that episode just like that, with Amber trying on her dress, and she loved it. She's like, this is my dress. Do you guys love it? We're like, yes, girl, that looks good. So as of now, I think that, again, I think Amber and Jordan is still going to make it to the end. Now I'm starting to think Devontae and Brittany will make it to the altar. Alex and Connor make it to the altar, I guess. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna have to see how episode 11 goes, but those are my picks right now. So thanks again for watching. Catch you guys in the next video. If you haven't watched already, my recap from episode 1 through 9 is up and posted on my YouTube right now, so go check those out. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys. See you on the next one. I'm about to take my ass to sleep.